There are moments in life when the truth you uncover isn't a relief, but a burden. When you pull back the veil, you realize the lies you were living weren't just whispers, but a storm waiting to swallow everything you've ever known. I never asked to be part of this, but now there's no turning back. This is the story of how I became the one who uncovered the truth, and how the truth may have cost me everything. Before we dive into today's story, let us know in the comments where in the world are you watching this video from. We'd love to hear from you. They say every journey begins with a single step, a choice, a moment, and a direction you take without realizing the magnitude of what lies ahead. For me, it was a regular shift, just like any other day. Alex told, I had been working here for years. I knew every wrench, every bolt, every noise the engines made. The routine had become second nature. It wasn't glamorous work, but it was honest. It paid the bills. I could rely on the rhythm of this place. It was a well-oiled machine, predictable, and in my line of work, predictability was everything. The world of aviation is built on precision. It's why we check everything, from the smallest component to the biggest one. If a single thing goes wrong, it's not just the plane at risk. Lives are at stake. I didn't need a degree in engineering to understand that. My job was to catch the things that others didn't. It was about seeing what wasn't immediately obvious. On that morning, everything seemed normal. It felt like another routine inspection. The engines hummed, the ground crew moved like clockwork, the planes lined up, ready for takeoff, one after the other. I was just another cog in the machine, but something was off. I couldn't place it, just a nagging feeling at the back of my mind, like a whisper I couldn't fully hear. Sometimes, I wonder if you can feel when things are about to go wrong. It's like a sixth sense. Maybe it was the way the air felt that morning, or the strange calm before the chaos. Whatever it was, I knew something was about to change, but I had no idea how far it would go. You know, sometimes you start second-guessing yourself. You get too comfortable, and you start missing the signs. But I knew something was off about this plane. It wasn't the first time I had done this, and it wouldn't be the last. But this one, something didn't sit right. Alex told Brian, you got a second? Brian told, what's up? Alex told, I just noticed something on the engine, a loose bolt. Might be nothing, but I want to make sure. Brian told, loose bolt? Probably just from the routine wear and tear. You know how it is with these things, Alex. Nothing to worry about. Alex told, maybe Brian was right. Maybe it was just a wear and tear, just another loose bolt that would never amount to anything. But then again, I couldn't shake the feeling. And that's the thing about this job. You can't afford to be wrong. I should have left it alone. It was early and I was tired. It wasn't my plane after all. I had 1,000 other things to do, but something kept me there. Something pulled me back to that engine, to that one detail. It was just one small bolt, but sometimes the smallest thing can unravel everything. I had no idea that by fixing that one bolt, I had just set everything in motion. I had no idea that the next few hours would change my life forever, but I was about to find out, and it wouldn't be pretty. The calm before the storm, sometimes it's just a warning we don't know how to read until it's too late. The sound of a plane taking off grows louder, fading into the background as the screen fades to black. Alex told, it's strange, you know, how a day can start off with the kind of normalcy you take for granted. But it only takes one moment, a single, fleeting moment, to change everything. I'd been here for hours, going through the checklist again and again. It's the kind of job that requires precision, repetition, and patience. Every detail matters. You can't afford to be distracted, not in this line of work, not when lives are on the line. That night I felt the weight of it, the responsibility. Maybe it was the fatigue, or maybe I was just overthinking things. But then, just like before, I found myself drawn to that same spot on the engine. There it was, the bolt, the one I had tightened earlier that day, but now it was loose again. And this time, it wasn't just loose, it was bent, warped, as if someone had tampered with it. I should have walked away, but instead, I did the thing I should have never done. I took a closer look. I knew that bolt had been fine earlier, and now it was damaged. Something wasn't right. Someone had deliberately tampered with it. I should have called someone. I should have gotten another opinion, but the more I thought about it, the more the nagging feeling in the pit of my stomach grew. What if I reported this? What if someone didn't take me seriously? What if it was just a simple mistake? Could I really risk my job over something that might be nothing? Dylan, with a grin. Working late again, Alex? You know, you don't have to keep burning the midnight oil. We've got enough people on staff. Alex, nervously. Yeah, just going through the checklist again. I thought I noticed something earlier on the engine. Dylan, waving it off. Loose bolt, huh? Probably nothing. You're not the only one who's noticed things like that. Look, these planes go through a lot. Wear and tear is expected. That's why we check everything. But you're overthinking it, trust me. Alex told he was brushing it off just like that. I could tell. Dylan had always been good at smoothing things over, acting like everything was fine, even when it wasn't, but I couldn't shake the feeling in my gut. This was more than just a wear and tear. Something was wrong, deliberately wrong. Alex told Dylan, I need to take a look at something, just a second. Dylan, I already told you, Alex. It's fine, you need to trust me on this one. Alex is silent for a moment, torn between the desire to confront Dylan and the overwhelming fear of being wrong. But he knows he can't back down now. The weight of the discovery is too heavy. Alex, I couldn't walk away. I couldn't ignore what I'd found. And yet in that moment I knew, whatever I decided to do next, it would change everything. The truth has a way of slipping through the cracks. You think it's hidden, buried, forgotten, but when you uncover it, when you see it for what it is, it's too late to walk away. I'd seen enough now to know that this wasn't just an accident. This was something deliberate. Someone was hiding something, and I was about to find out just how deep the lies went. Alex told I'd seen it, but I still couldn't believe it. How could something so small, so seemingly insignificant, lead to something this big? But I couldn't ignore it. The bolt had been tampered with, and no matter how much Dylan tried to dismiss it, the fact remained. I had uncovered something that shouldn't have been there. I kept asking myself, what would happen if I reported it? What would they think? What if I was wrong? What if I ruined my career over a loose bolt? But then I thought about all those flights, the hundreds of passengers, the crews, the people who trusted the system. If I didn't speak up and something happened, what would I live with? Jenna told Alex, you're still here? Alex, forcing a smile. Yeah, just wrapping up some last checks. Jenna, leaning in. You okay? You've been acting weird all night. Something on your mind? Alex told I found something, Jenna, on one of the planes. Jenna told, what do you mean something? Like what? Alex, softly. This. It wasn't just loose, it was bent, and I don't think it's an accident. Someone tampered with it. Jenna told, okay, so someone messed with a bolt. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Could have been a mistake, right? Alex told, no, it wasn't a mistake. It's deliberate. I've been doing this too long to miss something like that. Whoever did this, they knew exactly what they were doing. Jenna told, all right, so what's the plan? You going to report it? Alex told, I don't know. Before Alex can finish, the sound of footsteps interrupts them. Dylan appears in the doorway, his hands in his pockets, a casual grin on his face. Dylan, mockingly. What's all this about a loose bolt? Alex, you getting paranoid on us? Alex, firmly, I'm not paranoid, I'm just being thorough. Dylan, laughing softly. Right. Well, I think you've done enough for tonight. Maybe you should go home, get some rest. This isn't a big deal. Alex, stepping forward. It is a big deal. You didn't see what I saw. You didn't look at the part the way I did. This wasn't a mistake, Dylan. Someone's messing with the planes. Dylan, quietly. You don't know what you're talking about. I've been doing this longer than you, Alex. Trust me, I know how to keep things running smoothly. If you keep pushing this, you're going to end up with a lot of questions you don't want answers to. And in that moment, I realized something that sent a shiver through my entire body. Dylan wasn't just trying to protect the airline. He was protecting something else, something bigger. Jenna told Dylan, maybe Alex is onto something here. If there's something wrong, we need to look into it. No one's above the safety of these planes. Dylan told Luke, you're both new to this, but you don't know how things work around here. Keep poking around, and I promise you, you won't like where it leads. Jenna, calmly, I'm not backing down, Dylan. If something's wrong, we fix it. Simple as that. Dylan, softly. Fine. But don't say I didn't warn you. That was the moment I realized something I had been trying to avoid. Dylan wasn't just a part of the problem, he was a part of something much bigger, something darker. This wasn't just about a bolt, it wasn't about a mistake or a faulty part. This was something much bigger, something that I couldn't ignore anymore. I had uncovered a hidden truth, and if I didn't act, it wasn't just the airline at risk. It was everything I believed in. Alex told I had just come from a place I never thought I'd go. Dylan's words haunted me, not just because of what he said, but because of how he said it. Calm, controlled, as if he was speaking from experience. It wasn't the first time he'd made veiled threats, but something about tonight felt different. Something about his presence. It was as if I'd just stepped into a world I was never meant to understand. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. Maybe it was paranoia, maybe it was all in my head. But something told me I wasn't alone in this anymore. I drove, but my mind wasn't on the road. It was on Dylan, on the threat, on the way he spoke with such certainty, like he knew what would happen next. What would I do if he was right? What if this really was bigger than me? I had spent my life trusting the system. I believed that if you worked hard, followed the rules, and kept your head down, things would be fine. But the longer I sat with the weight of that warning, the more I realized that the system I trusted wasn't built to protect people like me. It was built to protect itself. And if I wasn't careful, it might crush me. Text from Jenna. Alex, I've been thinking. Maybe Dylan's warning wasn't just a threat. Maybe he's trying to scare us into silence. But why? What's really going on here? Alex told Jenna was right. I couldn't shake the feeling that we were onto something big, something that no one, especially not Dylan, wanted us to find out. But if I didn't dig deeper, if I let this go now, the truth would die here, and I'd never forgive myself for that. Text from Alex. We need to meet. I'll fill you in. This is bigger than we thought. Text from Jenna. I'm on my way. Jenna told you said you had something to tell me. Jenna, quietly. What did Dylan say to you? What's really going on? Alex, softly. He threatened me, Jenna. Not just about the bolt, but about everything. He said if I kept looking, I'd regret it, that if I kept asking questions, things would get ugly. Jenna told what do you think he meant by that? Alex, looking down. I don't know. But the way he said it, it wasn't a joke. It wasn't just a warning. It was like he knew what would happen next, like he was part of it. Jenna told that's what I'm thinking too. We've seen how Dylan operates. He's never been one to play by the rules. But what if he's not just a loose cannon? What if he's a piece of a much bigger puzzle? Alex, quietly. If I'm right, then the safety of every flight, every passenger, hell, every crew member is at risk. Jenna, nodding. And Dylan's not the only one involved. If he's covering this up, then there are people above him who don't want this truth getting out. And if we go public with this, Alex, interrupting, we'll be buried, discredited, maybe worse. Jenna, told, "We're already in this, Alex. We can't back out now. If Dylan and whoever else are covering this up, we need to expose it before it's too late." Alex told, "All right, but we need the proof. Something concrete. We can't just go off a hunch." Jenna: "Then we start digging deeper. We find the real story and we make sure everyone knows it." Alex told, "The warning was clear. Dylan had made it perfectly clear that there were people in control, people who would stop at nothing to protect the lie. But I couldn't back down now, not when the lives of so many innocent people were at stake. I didn't know who I could trust anymore, but one thing was certain. I couldn't let fear hold me back." Alex told, "The sound of that phone vibrating on the table wasn't just a nuisance, it was a jolt, a warning. Something told me that whoever was calling wouldn't be someone I was expecting or someone I wanted to talk to." Jenna, whispering, "Answer it. We need all the information we can get." Alex, tentatively, "Hello?" Voice on the phone, mysterious. "You're looking in the wrong place, Alex." Voice on the phone, calm. "You've dug too deep. This wasn't meant to reach you, but now that it has, you need to stop. You have no idea what you're dealing with." Alex, steeling himself. "Who is this?" Voice on the phone, low. "You wouldn't believe me if I told you. But you need to stop before it's too late. People are watching you now. They're already watching your every move. You're not alone in this, but trust me, Alex, the moment you step too far, the moment you push too hard, things will get ugly. You'll wish you never picked up that first piece of the puzzle." Alex, firmly, "What do you want from me?" Voice on the phone, mocking. "What I want doesn't matter anymore, but what I'm offering is a way out. You back off, let this go, and I'll make sure you and your little friend don't get hurt." Alex, resolutely, "I don't believe you. This isn't about me. It's about the truth. You can't threaten me into silence." Voice on the phone, sadly. "I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but you've made your choice. Fine, Alex, but remember this moment. When everything comes crashing down, when the walls close in on you, and you realize just how deep you've gone, don't say I didn't warn you." Jenna told, "Who was that? Who was on the phone?" Alex, voice tight. "I don't know, but they know us, they know what we're doing, and they're warning us to stop." Jenna, frustrated. "This is exactly what I was afraid of. Someone's watching us. Someone doesn't want us digging any deeper." Alex told, "I don't care who it is. They won't scare me off. We're doing this, Jenna. We have to. People's lives are at stake." Jenna told, "You're right, but we need help. We can't do this alone anymore. We're in way too deep. We need someone we can trust, someone who can protect us, someone who knows how to fight back." Alex told, "Who can we trust, though? The airline? The authorities? We've seen what they're capable of. There's no one left to turn to." Jenna, determined. "There is one person who might be able to help us. She's been a whistleblower before. She's been through hell and back, but she survived. I think she might be our best shot." Alex, urgently, "You mean Claire? The former investigator who got blacklisted after she exposed those cover-ups?" Jenna told, "Exactly. If there's anyone who knows how to expose corruption and protect herself at the same time, it's her. I've got her number." Alex told Jenna, "This better be good." Jenna, without hesitation. "It's Alex, we need your help. We found something and we need to talk to you. It's bigger than we thought." Claire, after a long pause. "Meet me at the old diner. No one can know about this. I'll be there in 30 minutes. Jenna. "This is it, Alex. Claire's the key. If anyone can help us now, it's her." Alex. "Told I never thought it would come to this. Asking for help felt like a surrender, but it was the only way forward. We were running out of options, and the stakes had never been higher. Whoever was out there watching us was right about one thing: we were too far gone. But now, with the Claire in the picture, maybe, just maybe, we had a fighting chance." Alex told, We had no idea what to expect. When Claire finally walked in, she looked every bit the survivor. Her face was older, but her eyes, those eyes, told a story of someone who had been through hell and back and still walked out breathing. Claire, low, urgent, "You shouldn't be here, you know that, right?" Alex, urgently, "We don't have a choice, we need your help. This isn't just a whistleblower case anymore, it's bigger, someone's threatening us. They know what we've uncovered." Claire, leaning back, skeptical, "I warned you, Alex. This is a game you don't play unless you're willing to lose everything." Jenna, firmly, "We know. But we can't stop now. We're in too deep, Claire. The files, the reports, they point to something bigger than just a cover-up. We need you to help us get to the bottom of this. People's lives are at risk." Claire, quietly, "I've been down this road before. Do you think I don't know what you're up against? You've already seen the tip of the iceberg, but you're about to plunge into a much darker reality. They won't stop until you're both buried. You think you're the first people to try and expose this? You're not." Alex, determined, "Then tell us what we're up against." "What's really going on?" Claire, whispering, "It's not just the airline, it's a network, a system that's been in place for decades. You think it's just about covering up small incidents, about avoiding liability? Number. It's about control over who flies, who doesn't, and more importantly, who stays in power. Every crash, every near miss, every cover-up has a purpose. And those who threaten to expose it, they become a liability." Jenna, almost whispering, "Who's behind it? Who's pulling the strings?" Claire, calmly, "I can't say too much, not yet, but I'll give you a piece of the puzzle. Someone high up in the government is involved, someone with a lot of pull. They've been using the airline to funnel money, influence, and control. It's not just a company, it's a weapon. The airline was created to facilitate covert operations, using flight schedules and the movement of people to mask illegal activities." Alex, slowly, "So, what do we do? How do we stop this?" Claire, sternly, "You can't stop it, not without risking everything, but I can help you get the truth out, if you're willing to play the game, if you think you can handle the consequences." Jenna, shocked, leaning over to see the screen, This can't be real." Claire, urgently, "We need to go. Now." The message had been sent. We had crossed the line. There was no turning back now. Whoever was behind this knew where we were, what we were doing, and they were watching our every move. The warning had come, but it wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. Alex told, "In that moment, I realized the truth. We weren't just uncovering a conspiracy. We were now part of it. And someone powerful, was pulling the strings, ready to make sure we were silenced for good." Alex told, "We had come this far. The truth was within reach. But it felt like we were on the edge of a cliff. One step forward, and we could either soar or fall." Jenna, whispering, This is it, Alex. These documents, they're proof. This isn't just about corporate fraud, it's a network of power, corruption, and manipulation that's gone on for years." Claire, grimly, "It's worse than you think. Those blank spaces in the files, they're names of people who disappeared, people who knew too much and paid the price. The higher-ups have been covering up murders, blackmail, you name it, all to protect their empire, and now you're a part of it, whether you want to be or not." Alex, staring at the files, shaking his head. How do we get this out there? How do we expose something like this?" Claire, softly, "We can't just go to the police. They're compromised. There are too many people in on it. You'll need a platform, a public one, something they can't ignore. The truth has to be loud enough that it shakes their foundation. You'll need media, social networks, anyone who can help amplify the message." Alex, thinking aloud, "A public release? But what about the consequences? People have died for this." Claire, "We don't have the resources to take on something this big." Claire, coldly. Do you think anyone does? Do you think I'm the only one who knows the cost of all this? I've lost everything. My job, my family, my peace of mind, because I dared to uncover what was buried. But you want to know the real question? Do you have the stomach to finish this, to put everything on the line, knowing it might tear your world apart? Jenna, nodding resolutely. We can't back down. Not now, too many people have already paid the price. Claire, urgently. You need to go. Now they're here, Claire, with a fierce edge. Take it. Get the truth out, Alex. Don't wait for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. Go now. Alex, told, we had one shot to expose everything. The truth was finally in our hands, but it felt like the world was closing in around us. We had no idea who was after us, who was already in the shadows, watching our every move. Jenna told, do you think they saw us? Do you think we can make it out of here? Alex, breathing hard. We have no choice. Text a message from an unknown number. We know you're trying to expose the truth. It's already too late for you. You'll never make it out alive. Alex, told, the truth had been revealed, but the real question remained. Could we make it out alive to share it with the world, or would we too become part of the cover-up, silenced before we could finish what we started? The cliffhanger was real, and I wasn't sure where the next chapter would take us, but I knew one thing: we couldn't stop now, no matter the cost. Now I want to ask you, if you were in my shoes, would you have the courage to expose the truth, knowing the dangers it could bring, or would you turn a blind eye to protect your own life? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your answers. And don't forget to like this video if you believe the truth should always come to light. Subscribe for more, because this story is far from over.